whatever time of the day it is you are listening. Welcome to the P&A Podcast Express.
All right, Steve Cookie in the house. Cookie bringing us in. He's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. Cookie Monster, our show historian and expert, is here to join us on opening day of deer season. It won't be opening day you are listening to us. This is going to be a quick trip? Question mark?
Whatever it is.
It might not be a quick trip.
It is.
We have a lot to discuss. Yes.
We do.
So
first of all,
go ahead.
Cookie brought us. We've been just diving into his
the charcuterie tray over here, and it's fucking fantastic. He makes his own summer sausage. That was your first effort, you said, for by yourself, first time?
Yeah, I've done it with my cousin a few times, but I did it, and I bought a mixer and a sausage stuffer, and it really turned out well.
I will clarify this. You've made sausage. Well, boy, that doesn't sound good either, does it? You have cooked sausage, concocted sausage.
Constructed sausage?
I can't make this sound good, Cookie.
You've built up sausage.
When you come in and say, I've done it with my cousin.
Shit.
And then we've got to clarify that.
We have made summer sausage together, but yeah.
We'll leave it at that. So we'll give a review.
But my next shot is jerky.
Jerky, yeah, absolutely. But we'll give a review of your meats here. I liked it. Good consistency, good flavor. Not overwhelming. Nothing about it comes through overwhelming. Like nothing sticks to the palate, which is nice.
It's got a nice peppery,
a little bit of pepper. Yeah. A little bit of smoke comes through. It's a hint. It's gentle.
Yeah,
but there's
eases you in.
Yeah, it just really lulls you into complacency.
And then he brought cheese with it as well.
Yes,
some Colby Jack.
So overall, solid effort. I'd give it a solid. As far as summer sausages go, it's a solid 8.5 out of 10. Man, good job.
And then he brought wheat thins with it.
Yeah, wheat thins. Those are the best. If you're going to eat anything cheese-wise, meats-wise, wheat thins are the way to go. Always. Because they've got that nuttiness to them that really brings out the aspect of everything you're stacking with them.
And you got to have nut with your meat.
Of course. You can't have meat with no nut.
Yeah.
Good one. So check this out. I go hunting tonight.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how was the hunt today?
This morning, I was there at 6:30, and at 8:30, my ass was back. I was frozen solid.
He was cold.
Oh, boy. And I didn't see shit, so I took off. But my old man got one at...
I saw that. I saw that on Facebook, man.
11 o'clock, a nice 9-point. And my uncle got one tonight.
Damn.
But I went to my dad's place, or my dad's blind, and... I saw 3 different bucks tonight and a couple does. They're just little ones. I didn't want to mess with them. But
right.
Them they're running, man. They're still running, but...
Boy, I'll tell you what, on the drive home... Now, we hit one last Wednesday.
Oh, another one?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So far, Adam and I are 2 for the last 2 weeks. I hit one 2 weeks ago, on the morning on my way to work,
Okay,
But I'm one every year for the last 3 years.
So shoot them all.
Yeah.
We like to see them die.
Yeah. I go by the buck pole and I just flip them all off.
You're like, yeah, you got it. That's karma right there, bitch. That's karma.
Do you hunt at your place?
I used to. This year I'm not. Since I'm
he's
booted.
in a boot.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not tempting fate by trying to traipse through the woods. So
when you get these deer, do you have a designated person who guts them and field dresses them? Is that you? Are you the guy? Or do you all participate in it?
I do everything.
Yeah. Because there was always
my dad will, or...
Because it was funny, because I remember growing up, I had the one uncle that whenever deer needed to be gutted, we always made him do it, and I don't know how he got that chore, that duty. But it's like, oh, Uncle Dennis will gut it for you, and I'm like, well, okay, I can try it myself. No, just let him do it. I'm like, wow, who did he piss off years ago?
Yeah, he lost a bet with somebody.
Right.
I've always, well, I won't say I've always had to gut my own deer, but since I've been an adult, I've gutted my own deer.
Yeah. I used to think it was great. My dad would shoot pheasants. Oh, no. I'll clean them for you. Well, he loved it.
Well, yeah.
I did all the rabbits and shit.
Yeah.
See, now, when my boys were, like, still at home, both of them, I would simply just call the house and tell Mary, "Hey, send the boys back. I got a deer." They'd drag it out of there for me, and boy, one year I got a big, huge 6-point. Yes, please. Big, huge 6-point, and
please, thank you.
Had to drag it through some thickets, and we literally tied a harness around Anthony, my oldest.
Said, yeah!
Oh my God!
And he gets halfway through, and he's like, "Damn, this thing's heavy," and he made it through with it. But I was I figured I'd have to jump in because he was in high school still, but
yeah,
he's a wrestler and pretty big kid. He drug it all the way out of there, and I mean he pulled it through some awful stuff. That deer was tenderized just from coming through the willows and shit.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, I had that going for me as they got older. But now he's off at college and all that. The youngest, he'd do it for me too, but he's a lot smaller.
I took today off because it was easy, because anybody that applied for today off, they got granted it. And I'm like, well, I don't even have to tell a story. I can just put my request in and not have to be like... Because sometimes they have the audacity to be like, well, why do you need a day off? Because I need a fucking day off.
That's one thing I got to give my workplace is I can just be like, yep, not going to be here tomorrow or not going to be here this afternoon.
Well, it's so funny because my boss is like, so Tuesday when you come back, and I just shoot him a glare, and he's like, you're going to come back Tuesday, right? I'm like,
Perhaps.
He's like, are you going to come back at all? And I shoot him the same look.
Thank you.
I'll go back there tomorrow.
So tomorrow it's a surprise.
Surprise! Oh, I've got so much shit to do. Yeah, they fucking sent me that. What the fuck? What an act of aggression. Cookie has picked up the phone book we talked about in the last episode.
Wow. You
Right?
don't see these very much anymore.
so
They mailed that to me.
You missed this part, and anybody else that missed it, look up Filkins in there.
There's a whole bevy of them.
There's two. One of them's me, who has not had a landline for 23 years.
But that's how we send the rumor.
So when I moved home from college to my parents' house,
He wanted to get on his AOL account.
yeah, I basically wanted to get online, so I got a hold of Great Lakes Internet, and I got a dial-up account. And I realized very quickly that I was online enough that my parents were like, hey, you can't tie up the phone all the time like that. I'm like, I'll just have one. I was gainfully employed, and I said, I'll just bring in a phone line of my own. So I had it brought in, and that was my line to get online with. So I'm in there, 810-648-4963, and haven't had that line. That line hasn't been active since I was probably, 20. It's been like 26 years, because I think I was 21 when that was active last. And they still put it in there.
I'm scrolling through Facebook. Why do deer always look so dumb after they've gotten shot?
Well, the smart ones don't get shot, dude.
That's true.
With the tongue out, you mean?
Have you ever noticed a deer that you thought looks like it's special needs? You're like, oh man, you shot the deer that rode the short bus to school, buddy.
Are you checking out the butt poles?
Yeah, the butt poles. From your butthole headquarters.
Truck month.
Truck month.
Crap, Chevrolet Buick. They owe us a Coke now.
Oh shit! Pulling back the curtain a little bit there, huh?
My cousin is married to the new car salesman. Or new car sales manager.
Man, I'll say it
there
when
you
I
go.
always say, I gotta stop scrolling through Facebook because fuck y'all.
Yeah.
God, those people
Facebook
piss me
Meta.
off.
Meta.
Yeah. They, everybody's lives look so wonderful, happy, and just magnificent on Facebook. I don't. If you see my Facebook feed, you're like, this guy's a fucking train wreck. But you know what? You meet me in person, you're like, this guy's a fucking train wreck.
Yeah. Transparency. That's
Yes.
what I go for.
That's right. Truth in
So-
advertising.
Hey, did I tell you guys about my last
No, go on. We need some cookie stories.
my last
yeah.
fucking jail period on Facebook?
Oh, that's
I
right. You
seen
were
that.
just in Facebook jail.
Now, folks, check this out. There's a feral cat problem in the Croswell area.
We were just talking about
And
killing cats
someone
last episode.
was on Facebook and simply said, I am sick of these feral cats
I'm sick of
underneath
these
my porch,
motherfucking
and they're
cats in this
doing these-
motherfucking street.
These fucking cats that are right in town, and no one will do nothing about them. So I said simply, shoot, shovel, and shut up. And Facebook
And then
shut
put
me
him in
down.
Facebook jail.
That fucker cocked me for 8 days.
You cannot make Kyle Rittenhouse posts on Facebook.
Do not fuck with cats.
Shoot, shovel, and shut up, bitches.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds like a great T-shirt.
We should do it
Oh
for the
my
PNA
God.
Podcast Express that just says
Yeah.
shoot, shovel, and shut up.
With a cat
PNA
on that
Podcast
mother-
Express with a cat with 2 X's for eyes.
Shoot, shovel, shut up, meow.
Yeah.
Meow. Meow, 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 meow. Not so funny meow, is it?
Oh, damn.
We do not
cat.
condone killing cats.
I don't know. So
Well, maybe we do.
here, I have a little cat.
Do we have a
story.
very anti-cat podcast?
Probably, yeah.
We love pussy, hate cats.
Hey.
So my son is walking by. The cat's on sitting on the back of the couch, right? And my son's walking by the couch, and he kind of rests his hand for a second as he's talking to me on the couch, and the cat just swipes him for no reason. And then he's like, well, what the hell? So his hand kind of goes back there. He looks at the cat like, what are you doing? His hand kind of goes back there. The cat bites him.
What an asshole.
And I'm like, this is why we have raccoons.
Yes. What an asshole.
My raccoon army will kill all the geese and all the cats.
Motivate. Army.
Yeah.
Engage.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we just buy our license and
Cat license?
just sit on the back deck and blast them in that pond?
Oh, for the geese?
Or on the island?
We could sit on the island. You can pretty much walk up to the damn things and you can clock them with a baseball
On this
bat.
episode of Flamethrower versus Goose.
Phil doesn't like geese either.
No, they
No.
scare the Jesus out of
I
me.
don't like geese because when I go to mow the island, it's not shooting green blades of grass out the chute. I can tell you that.
I'm not afraid of snakes. I'm not afraid of clowns. I'm not afraid of bears. I am afraid of geese.
I'm not afraid of geese.
They have no arms.
They can die off a ricochet. I don't know how I know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like when
I
you,
remember that podcast.
when you randomly shoot off a pot shot with a 22 just to scare them away,
Yeah.
and then you have to go out in the boat and grab one.
Yeah.
Why is there a dead goose floating out in the pond?
I think my
I
theory was he had a
remember
heart
that
attack.
one.
I couldn't find a shot in the thing anywhere. I think he had a heart attack.
Did you cook him up and eat him?
No.
It had a heart
Oh, fuck
attack.
that goose.
Threw him in a ditch.
Throw him in the ditch at the neighbor's house. How
Pretty
did
much.
this dead goose end up in our yard?
I don't think anybody's worried about one missing goose.
Harold, there's another dead goose in our yard.
Why is the dog dragging a goose around the yard again?
That's just like the story of the rabbit, right? The neighbor dog comes in carrying the neighbor's rabbit dead in its mouth, dirty, filthy, and dead. So the person in a panic goes and puts the rabbit back in the rabbit hutch, and the neighbor calls the next day being like, wow, we really had a scare. Our rabbit died 3 days ago and we buried him, and all of a sudden he was back in his hutch. Whoopsie! Right?
Oh, boy.
Somebody's playing a sick trick on us, man. Ooh. Oh, man. That grinds my gears. I'm still angry about that phone book.
You know, it's funny that you brought that in because when we got one the other day, I like whipped it on the table and I'm like, Mary, your phone book's here. I didn't want that damn phone book.
It's an aggressive move. They send it to you unsolicited.
You know what's worse? Okay, here's a major gear grind.
I've never tried to email mass people the same bullshit. Ugh, gross. Go on.
Local publication that's free, right?
Buyer's Guide.
They used to, yes. I was going to let those remain nameless, but
No, they need to be called out.
here we go. So, they went around and they put a hook on your mailbox pole, right?
That way they could dangle it in a bag.
They put it in a bag on there. So
Because
I unscrew the hook. Pretty aggressive.
That's
passive aggressive
very
move on my
passive
part
aggressive move.
to take that
See,
hook off of
even
there.
the passive aggressive play would have been now to screw that hook in somewhere in your garage and hang something from it and be like, that's my buyer's guide hook.
I think I threw it on the ground for their guy to pick up at his tire.
his
But
tire.
anyways, so I'm like, all right, that's done. So for like a little while, we didn't get one.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, they just start showing up in our mailbox. So I call the buyer's guide. I'm like, hey, I took your hook out. Don't want your fucking buyer's guide.
You
Hey,
think you would have gotten
Oh,
the clue?
yeah,
Now, I used to take it I used to take it when we had a wood stove, a wood burning stove, outdoor wood burning stove. I used to take it because I would just basically throw them in the garage in a bin, and I would just go and grab them when I needed to start a fire.
Right.
But when we got rid of that, I was like, yeah, I don't need your shit anymore, people. But guess what? They kept giving it to me. So we take the hook out. I'm like, there, that's done. So
Problem solved.
for like 2 months, didn't get one, right? Another hook.
Oh, shit, they rehooked you?
So they rehooked me. Took the hook out immediately again.
Immediately.
Immediately.
As soon as I saw one dangling from it, I took that fucking hook out.
Yep. They even had the audacity to use the same hole.
Oh,
Oh my goodness!
boy.
They couldn't even put it in a different hole.
Nope.
Now
So-
you know how dumb they are.
Yes. So I take that hook out.
Right?
Like 2 months go by. One shows up in the mailbox.
Oh,
So then I'm like,
that's illegal.
I call the buyer's guide, and I'm like, I don't want your paper anymore.
I don't want what you're selling.
So they're like, all right, we'll
I'm not
stop.
looking for a job.
We'll stop.
I have them internets.
They didn't stop.
They gave you 2 the next week.
So I took a piece of tape and a note, and I hung it in the front of my mailbox. I'm like,
Fuck your buyer's guide.
to my mailman, hello.
Hello.
To the buyer's guide person.
Is it me you're looking for?
To the buyer's guide person, go to hell. Don't put another buyer's guide in here ever.
Go to hell.
I didn't get any more buyer's
You
guides.
can
after
die
that.
in hell.
Well, you got your point across.
Well, I mean, what's the point of that publication?
A waste of fucking time.
All of the nobody looks through it for the ad. You used to buy it for the wanted stuff.
I do the Sudoku in it.
For the for sale. No, you don't.
I do.
Do you really?
It's what I do when my dad tends to stop. I love my dad. This is not a rant against my dad. My dad's a wonderful man. I don't deserve either one of my parents. They're like golden, great people, and I'm
Yes.
a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So sorry, parents. You did a good job raising. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. My sisters are magnificent, both of them. But my dad will stop by all the time, unsolicited. Same as me getting a fucking phone book in the mail. And he'll just sit there and want to chat. And of course, during COVID times when I was working from home, he'd stop by and he'd just sit there and bitch about Whitmer just for an hour. And I'm of no opinion about it. I don't care.
I just want to see your boobs.
I really, being in AA
I'd like
for
to see more than that.
Right. Being,
Well,
in,
yeah.
being in AA for
It'd be
as
a
long as
start.
I was, like the Serenity Pair really stuck with me. Like things I can't change, things I can. Wah, wah, till the next vote,
wah,
I can't do
wah.
anything about it. And,
It's your to make the difference.
right. So anyway, I started pulling out the fucking buyer's guide and doing the Sudoku while he was sitting there just fucking ranting about whatever he was ranting on with red ink pen. And he's like, oh, you like those Sudokus, don't you? I'm like, I just don't want to have to listen to you rant about bullshit I don't care about, Dad. But then,
Yes.
and then he never noticed because, like, he would rant about whatever, the government stuff, the whatever, the bullshit, and I'd fucking check out and be doing my Sudoku. But then he'd want to talk about sports. I'd set my ink pen down and I'd talk about sports. He never got the hint that, oh, sports. I tried to condition him, but apparently my dad is unconditionable. I condition a lot of people, by the way. I don't know if you've ever known this, but I do. I condition people a lot of different ways, like, especially at work. Like, all right, go do that. Yep, you're good.
You condition them by telling masturbation stories in the second episode.
I've actually conditioned our listeners. You may not know this yet, but they may not know it yet.
You have been conditioned.
But here, you're a sleeper cell, and when I activate, it's going to be a sight to behold.
Oh boy.
Shit's about to go down, and the PNA Podcast Express logo is going to be branded on a lot of people's asses.
Phil's going to come out one day and be like, all right, everyone, it's time to slap that nudie up on the side of the shower.
That's right.
Oh boy.
Activate Initiative 71-42- nudie in the shower wall.
Yes.
I was taking a shower the other day. And I was
Oh,
not.
I didn't know we were getting dirty.
Taking a
I was
shower and he
not
thought of you.
doing that.
And he thought about me.
And I'm like, who in the fuck would have thought to put a fucking centerfold on the fucking wall?
A very horny 16-year-old.
I'm like, that is fucking genius.
I got. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hung out with the McConaughey boys today for lunch, and they mentioned that several times. Like, you've come up with some genius shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm almost too smart for my own good because I spend a lot of time solving dumb problems.
There you go. Engineer for McConaughey Farms. JDM.
I sent him.
JDDM.
I sent him my resume.
Holy fuck.
And all I got back
There
from
you
Jason
go.
is, "Holy shit, your resume's impressive." I'm like, I don't give a fuck if it's impressive. Give me a goddamn job.
High
Did you
agronomist.
did you use my buddy's tactic and just draw an outline of your penis?
No, so here's what I said to him. I said, it's funny because here it is, resume, not a drawing flipping you off. It says that's exactly what I put in the title, not a drawing flipping you off.
But then when he opened it up, it was a drawing
flipping
flipping
it. No, the next one I will be like updated resume, and it'll just be a middle finger I've drawn. You know, I got in trouble the other day at work. The IT guy calls me up and he's like, I don't care that you print some of these things off like crockpot recipes and all this other shit. He's like, but I don't get this one. And I had scanned in a drawing of me, you know, I draw the middle finger. I'm an artist. He's like, I'm not going to rat you out or anything, but you can't be scanning and sending yourself drawings of the middle finger. I'm like, oh man, talk about the fun police. Jesus Christ. I'm like, well, the next one will be of a big old throbbing veiny bastard cock then.
There you go.
So, if you're an IT guy that really has the time to pay attention to what people are doing on your network,
Right. Things are running pretty smoothly.
yeah, I have things running pretty smoothly.
Well, you
Still
got to
don't have
understand,
time.
we don't really need a full-time IT guy, but I'm happy he's in a position he's in because he has a good job. I like Ray.
Yeah.
So I'm not anti-Ray, but I tell him all the time, he's got an office up front with the windows. He can see outside the front lawn. He can see freedom. And yet I'm stuck. All us engineers are stuck, 4 of us, in one small room, divided, each of our desks, with no windows to the outside world. And there's a quality supervisor sits a door off of our office to his office, and the supervisor who runs the whole shop is in there. So people are just incessantly in and out all fucking day while we're trying to do our engineering jobs in this fucking shithole of an office stuck. And I'm like, why the fuck are we treating our engineers like this?
That is odd.
Right? Meanwhile, the director of operations has this big office that's beautiful up front, like mahogany furniture with windows to the outside. Our safety director has this beautiful office up front. Our engineering, health, and safety director, she just got the job. And she's the one that in a morning meeting, she's like, I'm not going to lie to everybody. I'm too busy to do your stuff. And I'm like, holy fuck. No one should ever say that. That shouldn't be in your vocabulary in business. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
What?
We
We're
actually-
all too motherfucking busy.
That is actually in our handbook
Yeah.
at work that not my job is not something that anybody can say.
Right.
So I just tell people I'm not supposed to do that.
Yeah. Well, I always say either it's beyond my pay grade or you'll have that on these big jobs.
Yeah.
You know? God, I hate the corporate world. Get me out of there, please, folks.
See, I'm not really in the corporate world.
You're not. Medical's different. I've worked medical before.
And it's nonprofit medical.
Right. But my job is just fucking miserable. I'm a miserable cunt. And it's because, and I don't know, they always harken back to the same thing. Well, that's why we pay you so much money. Bitch, no amount of money is worth me being this miserable and unhappy. And it's not just a me problem either. Obviously I'm stuck in a fucking small office with 3 other dudes. We talk about it too, and trust me, they are all just as unhappy as I am. And 7 engineers have left that place in the last year. And that's what I went on the rant. Did I talk about this rant? I talked about it.
I don't know if you did.
I kicked my boss's door in, and I said 42 words, and 21 of them were fuck.
Oh.
What the fucking fuck do you fucking think this place fucking means to everybody? Because fuck you. You wonder why you fucking had 7 engineers leaving the last fucking year. Yeah.
Well, that
damn.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm like, you treat us like shit. You put us in a shitty office. You do nothing but expect more and more work out of us.
Fuck them.
That's right.
And see, I have my own
Fuckers.
office, but I wish that our IT team was like all in one office.
Right.
It would make things much easier for me, especially with a blown wheel.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong here. And you know what? Maybe I'm being ungrateful, and I realize that. I've thought about this from all avenues. But should they at least, if you're that important to the whole scheme of things, shouldn't they at least feign trying to make you semi-happy in the environment that you work in?
I would think.
I mean, why is that gone by the wayside?
I mean, for the most part, I feel like at work they try and make us happy.
Right.
But there's also drawbacks. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you could go a few more miles away and make more money at a bigger hospital.
Right.
That goes across the board for
No,
anybody.
and you see, really, for me, there's only two factors why I'm still, three factors. One is health insurance because I have to cover my kids. They pay me good money, and I'm not far away from home. But
Right.
other than that, those are the only benefits to the fucking job. I've done more work in the 3.5 months I've been there than I have at any other engineering job I've ever had in my 20-year career in 1 year.
Did you ever think that?
And it's still not enough.
Did you ever think that maybe the common denominator in you not liking your jobs is you?
Oh, always.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. As long as we got that out there.
No, once again, vis-a-vis several years of counseling, therapy, AA programs. I understand the programs me. I just don't want to be an engineer anymore. But no one will let me stop. Like, I talked to Eddie, and I'm like, get me a job. Oh, you don't. Why would you give up that money? I'm like, money isn't everything, man. I just need to be able to pay my bills.
Well, when he
Correct.
says that, though, he also means why would you give up the money that you would earn there? Because
Right.
they're not going to pay you all of it.
Right, and I understand that. So that's not going to be the future. But other jobs, people are like, so you would leave this job and make half of what you make there? I'm like, yeah, because I can pay my bills and make life do on half of what I make now, like easily.
Yeah, and if I'm happy, then I don't feel like I need other things.
Right. You know, because you've got this giant fill hole that I'm just trying to fill with random shit, like all this podcast equipment and
fill hole?
flamethrowers and food. Like, that's why I'm so overweight. I'm fat because I eat. I eat because I'm depressed. I'm depressed because I'm fat. It's a vicious cycle.
And you've got a fill hole.
Right, and there's a fill hole, yes. I'm just trying to be fulfilled. Speaking of fill holes,
There's going to have to be more meatloaf here soon.
yeah.
Oh,
So
don't let your meat low.
yeah, don't let your meat loaf. So Cookie has the microphone with the dent in it that strangely resembles the head of a penis over there.
Yeah, is that why he
thanks,
keeps
Bill.
putting it in his mouth?
He's like, blah, blah.
I keep having to mute it, otherwise it'd sound like...
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Ah, oh no.
Sometimes I can't hear it.
Sometimes
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Later.
That's right. Anyway, man, maybe my job's not that. Maybe I do have a good job. Maybe I'm just ungrateful. Maybe I'm not in the right mindset.
I just don't think it's what you want to do.
I think that's purely it.
I would be in your same boat if I hadn't taken, like, quite a hiatus, a 12-year
Right.
hiatus from IT work.
See, and I've been doing engineering for 20 years straight now, and really working at Boeing was great. I have no qualms about that. But, I mean, they let me run amok. I mean, I'm shitting in trash cans and everything else
Oh,
there. I
yeah.
mean, Christ. But that's it. And see, this job has tried to structure me way too much with both my schedule and everything else. Like, there's just no work-life balance. They don't seem to care.
And see, we like at the hospital, we have a great work-life balance.
Right.
There's a lot of freedom to take. They give us a ton of time off. I mean,
Right.
I probably never use all the time off
But
that
it's
they
just
give me.
it's just like leaving for Fridays with Phil, or if you want to leave a half hour early, my boss will, well, just make sure you make up your time. What does a fucking half hour matter in the grand scheme of things?
Well, and like there's
You're not
never
on salary?
I'm salaried, yes.
Well,
Yeah, right? But there's been numerous days when I've stayed an hour or two over,
yeah,
yeah.
you know?
exactly.
It's the fucking yin and the yang, and that's why you can go fuck yourself with a rusty chainsaw, bitch.
Okay. Now,
Huh.
Phil, I think the problem is you made a small door for a fucking airline.
Yeah, you're right. You're
You
right.
can't get into the shit house.
I just can't get into that shitter.
That's what the problem is.
So I made the bathroom door too small.
That's what
the
it was.
laboratory door.
And it was especially,
I like small doors.
and it was on the movie Con Air.
Yes.
Your favorite actor,
Nicolas Cage.
Come in His Eyes.
We have not
Same
talked
with
about
Bono.
Nicolas Cage in a long time.
No.
We have not. Too long.
We haven't talked about Goot in a long time either. Miss you,
about-
Gutenberg.
Nicolas Cage, he likes a Sawzall because it saws
Saws
all.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
That was an old one.
Yeah. That's a good throwback.
That
You know-
is that is a good throwback right
Yeah,
there.
big time.
We
liked that one.
ranted about Nicolas Cage very early in
Yeah.
this production, didn't we?
And then you guys ripped on Bono.
Bono, he's a turd.
He's got cum dripping from his eyes, too.
Why is he always wearing sunglasses indoors?
That's what you guys were saying.
See, I'm consistent at least, aren't I?
Yep. You remember.
He schemes me out.
Somebody will. Somebody had to take Bono down a notch.
Has he found what he's looking for yet?
I'm
No.
not sure.
God damn.
Still hasn't.
I love what South Park did to him and be like, Bono is the turd.
That was awesome. That was like a great episode.
Lyndon showed up yet? I grind in her gears, something big time.
Oh, boy.
Brooke, we love you.
Oh boy.
We're going to have Lyndon on for a rebuttal one of the next time he's actually here and we're doing the podcast. Be like, tell us what happened on opening night of Deer Season.
He's probably going to be in like a body cast and
We want
feel
to
horrible.
we want to get in front of this story and let you tell your side of it because we've heard the other side. We know the other side. You done fucked up.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Ron, you done fucked up.
You done fucked up, AA Ron? Oh, don't tell me how to pronounce it. By the way, Eddie's at botching obituary names again.
Oh no.
Apparently a Chismadia passed away, and he said Chismadia.
That's my uncle.
Yeah. He apparently botched it the first time on the
He did. He said
obituary.
Chismadia.
Yes. Can confirm. See, look at that. Thank you, Cookie.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my Uncle George.
Well, rest in peace, Uncle George. Was he a good man? You can be honest.
Uncle George was fine.
Okay.
If he was on here, everybody that listened would be rolling on the floor.
Well, that's good. He was a funny man
He's
then.
just crazy. You know, one time, okay.
Uncle George stories for you
check this
folks.
shit out, man. he was living in Crosswell. So Sharon went and picked him up. And I'm in the house. We're taking him up to Thanksgiving. And I was in there doing some shit.
everyone.
And he says to Sharon, what the fuck is he doing in there, jacking his meat? I mean,
So it sounds like Uncle George would have loved the podcast, though.
Uncle George he'd have been awesome on this, man.
That was a good way to eulogize Uncle George. That was good. That's a happy memory. So rest in peace, Uncle George.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to pull us up something from Nick Cage here.
Oh,
It's
Nicolas Cage. Do we have a monologue from Nicolas Cage? That would be great.
Hey, why he does that, just one quick. How about Alec Baldwin with the live bullets?
Oh, shit.
What a dip fuck.
Alec Baldwin in the Live Bullet Band?
I don't like that fucker either.
I've been indifferent about him. And really, why is all of this faded away so quickly? Like, our news cycle's so crazy this day and age. Like, you heard everything about it for about 3 or 4 days.
Because they're white?
Right now?
Oh, sorry.
No,
Did
you
I
can say that. No, you can absolutely say that on the podcast. We talk about racial tensions and ideals and things a lot.
I did have quite a rant on last week about being black and wearing a red shirt on Star Trek. So, because one or two things are going to happen: you're going to kiss Captain Kirk, or you're going to get killed.
Either way,
That sucks. Either way.
Yeah.
either way, you're going to end up with a bad taste in your mouth. Uh-oh.
Now, what about the... What was that one I saw on Facebook? Someone was kicking the shit out of a kid, and he had a pistol on him, but he wouldn't pull it. They beat the shit out of him,
Oh, really?
and he never pulled it. And my comment was,
I'd be pulling
that
that
person
shit.
would be on the ground.
That's right.
It was from a cop, too.
Really? Oh, a cop was beating the shit out of him?
No.
Oh.
The cop says, man, that's
Yeah.
legit. He should have...
That's self-defense right there,
fucking
yeah.
A.
Yeah.
Quick figuring, that's what they're saying, yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's textbook self-defense right there.
Whack.
You don't even... I mean, I know going for center mass is what you're taught, but you could even wing him at that point.
Oh, boy.
Unbelievable. Boy, Adam's working feverishly over
I
there.
am. You guys have got to carry this.
I can't lift very heavy things. How about you, Cookie? Can you carry the show?
Well, I know one thing.
Yeah.
If someone has any questions or comments, they can email us at the PNA Podcast Express at gmail.com.
He's got it. Look at that.
You can also email us.
Also, pineapple nipple arsehole at
Gmail.
gmail.com.
Gmail.com. And if you want a card that tells us what those emails are, just email us at one of those 2 email addresses.
Yes.
Amen.
Or we decided last episode, Cookie, if you want an autographed first edition P&A Podcast Express business card, just send us an email and we'll autograph one and send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Things I know how to email now.
I love it.
I'm going to start.
You should give us a weekly report.
I'm going to start hitting up Eddie in
Yeah.
the morning.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he says, hey, email me. And I know he'll put something in for me if I email him, I think.
You can go Eddie F at soundlikebroadcasting.com.
Because I think he got in trouble.
Did I get that right?
Now he's going to get a million emails.
Yeah,
We're gonna
Eddie
get
F.
shit.
Yeah,
We'll get
Eddie
done.
F. Yeah.
Eddie F at soundlikebroadcasting.com. Watch, if you get more emails than us, Eddie, due to this podcast, I'm going to be angry, but at the same time, very happy.
Hi, Eddie.
People will
You
be
know-
like, I was going to email the podcast, but I'd rather sell this on Swap Shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's time now for Swap Shop.
And he plays Blondie.
Call me. Meow, meow, meow.
Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum.
So the holidays are coming around here.
Yes.
Thanksgiving will be here before we know it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Next week.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to gorge myself on food this year.
Whoa.
What do you?
Whoa,
what kind
whoa.
of turkey substitute are you going to get? Since they're like $1 million now.
We raise our own turkeys.
Uh-oh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We got problems.
Uh-oh, what is the problem?
Folks, this is green bean casserole season.
I was thinking about that today in the shower.
Shit.
Oh, no!
Yeah. I had everything going fully erect, and then green bean casserole popped in my brain because I said this is the time of year when we talk about how terrible green bean casserole is. And then I looked down, and my green bean was no longer erect.
Ooh.
Wah, 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 wah.
Wilted bean.
Right. Like, I was really working up to something here. I was starting to breathe heavy and everything, and then next thing I know, fucking green bean casserole popped in my head. I'm trying to think of like hot ladies and women that I've slept with that I shouldn't have that were out of my league, and yeah,
All of them.
That was,
all of them. Thank
All
you.
of them that didn't have a
to all
dick.
to all those ladies that have taken the time to sleep with me, thank you.
you know what, fellas? Being that November 10th was the 100th episode,
No, 1 year.
the 1 year, that was the right after it because we're
Right.
here.
Yeah.
And you said that, and that was pretty neat. And I was like, oh, you don't like green bean casserole.
Fuck
man.
your green bean casserole.
But then you said later on in the podcast that Melanie
Yeah.
made you one that you liked.
Yeah, she put tater tots in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was
You ever
good.
had it with bacon in it?
No, but I'm all ears when it comes to bacon.
Oh, well, I like free bacon.
Oh, fuck, I love free bacon.
Well, I don't see anybody offering me to go out back.
Yeah, I don't.
Smoking room.
The old smoke. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Probably Lindley's out there getting all the free bacon.
He's probably getting free bacon in the smoking room.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out there sitting. Hey, I got it, man. Here you
Oh,
go.
there's free bacon going
Oh
around.
boy.
What was that?
Whoa. Now that was
That
a
sounded
new one.
like the intro to a 90s NBA basketball
My
game.
name's Roger. Sir, may I be of some help?
Oh, boy.
That's funny. My name's Roger. Two Rogers don't make a right.
Did I ever tell you that this here jacket represents a symbol of my individuality
I can't
and my
stop it
belief
now.
in
Is this the
personal
Nicolas
freedom?
Cage poo-poo platter?
It's Nicolas Cage quotes.
Two Rogers don't make it right.
Fucking second pop.
I don't know why this thing's screwing up.
I can tell you why.
It's so fast, it's gone in 60 seconds.
Oh, shit.
It's like there's a ghost rider.
We are going to steal the Constitution.
I never disrobe before gunfire.
Look, cop car. Uh-huh. Long as I'm in here, you're just gonna sit out there, aren't you?
That's from Raising Arizona, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, that was his best movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
I don't believe I saw that one.
I don't know. What's going on lately with Nicolas Cage? Has he released any new movies lately?
No.
No.
I don't. Well, probably.
So is he unemployed?
No.
Nicolas Cage.
I'm
probably
sure he's at a Comic-Con somewhere.
being a dick.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nicolas Cage.
arse.
I'm a dick.
I'm a dick, and here's why.
Yeah, my friend is a dick, and here's why. Because I'm Nicolas Cage.
And I'm my only friend.
Nicolas Cage doesn't need friends.
No.
He's got
Friends
himself.
need Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, he's the best.
What is his problem?
He's a fucking dork.
He's an idiot.
Well,
Okay.
he's been balding since he's been on film.
Yeah.
Get this. Nicolas Cage's net worth, I know I've said this on air before, is nearly roughly $25 million.
What a fag.
How can you do as many movies as he has and only be worth $25
Right?
million?
He's had to have some terrible contracts, or let's face it, when I think of Nicolas Cage, I think of nose candy.
Yeah.
And that shit ain't cheap.
And I'm pretty sure Rogaine.
Rogaine and nose candy.
With minoxidil.
Sometimes he mixes them together.
Yeah, Rogaine with minoxidil.
Snorts a fucking rail of Rogaine.
You ever snorted whiskey and drank cocaine?
No. Should I?
You haven't?
No. Let's do it.
Snort some whiskey and drink cocaine?
Yeah. I like Coke.
Bust it out.
I don't
You got the money, I don't.
I don't have any, but okay. I don't even know where I can get cocaine anymore.
No, I think there's a song.
Cocaine.
Snorting, yeah,
Yeah.
that one. But no, snorting whiskey and
Drinking cocaine.
drinking cocaine, yeah.
Ugh.
I heard it on Clark Ramsey's station. I don't want
Oh, shit!
Yeah, the 102.1.
W-L-E-W.
WLEW.
He does fuck up his L's, too.
He drops his L's. I
After
told you
said
that.
I saw him, one of you guys did, and I'm like, oh, my God, he does fuck him up.
He drops his L's. W-L-E-W.
Yep.
W-L-E-W.
Sorry, Clark.
That is not Clark.
No.
That is not Clark Ramsey.
Sweet Caroline. Bum.
Think he ever lowers himself enough to listen to our podcast?
I hope so. If so, Clark, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Clark.
In a nice way.
Yeah, in the best way
You
possible.
can do it as gently as you want to, or as roughly as you like. I don't care.
Had enough? Had enough?
So these are some Nick Cage quotes from my favorite Nick Cage movie,
What's that?
Mom, Dad.
Oh, that's right. That's what got us started about the whole Nicolas Cage
Oh,
thing.
fuck. I never even knew that one. I never heard of that one.
My days. But now, the world you kids are living in, the things you've seen on the internet, mouth to dildo, dildo to ass to ass, hi Brent, anal beads, things I only saw in magazines. What?
Things I only saw in magazines.
Is this a Nick Cage remix that I downloaded here?
He's so unhinged sometimes.
Oh yeah, you put your right foot in, you take your right foot out, you do the whole in, you fucking work it all out. Bright future, everything in the world to look forward to.
I might
was
actually
gonna
like
grab
Nick
the wall
Cage if
by
he's
the
performing
balls
like
and
this.
squeeze.
Yeah.
Boy,
He sounds like our typical
damn, I remember that
podcast.
shit I used to
Yeah.
do like with 4
Very
fucking minutes
chaotic.
ago. My feet barely touched the ground back then. My
Damn.
kill ratio was 9 out of 10. It was 100% sex. Flat on his ass. Fat,
Aye.
bald,
Flat
cock,
on his ass.
blue bonnet, buttered waistline with hair coming out of my ears.
PBR,
No,
please.
your motherfucking mother.
What is it now? Give me the premise of this movie again.
So the whole premise of the movie is that all parents go crazy to try and kill their kids. Like,
Really?
there's some kind of like chemical thing that happens, some kind of chemical spill, and it causes all the parents to want to kill their kids.
Okay.
So like Nick Cage's parents show up and try and kill him.
Oh, Jesus.
wonderful.
Music.
Now, how the fuck you come up with that kind of an idea?
I don't know.
Sauce.
Sawzall.
Mom, Dad, listen. Sauce.
Thank you.
Saws.
Big time.
Saws. Oh.
Saws.
They actually keep playing that over and over.
Remix.
Mom, Dad, listen.
You fucking killed me! Nah, bullshit.
Please don't hurt anymore. Please.
I'm as speechless as I was last time we went through this.
Yeah, but except now there's actual audio clips, so you know that I'm not bullshitting about how horrible.
And this was on Netflix?
Jeez. I guess.
I don't know what it was on.
What a
This could have been on like a free, one of those weird sites where you got to watch like a Chinese video game.
It's like, and then you look at the wiki entry for it, and it's like, movie budget was $1.7 million, funded exclusively by Nicolas Cage. Movie revenue generated $140,000.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder he's only worth $25 million.
Sponsored by Skill Sawzall.
Yeah.
What? I was just curious if the producer of The Hackers might have helped him out on that one.
This was a little too lowbrow for that, I think.
Do you know that I would bet I can get the sister of the person that made The Hackers to come on this show?
Let's do it.
I don't know why you have not yet.
Yeah, what's the holdup here?
I know she'll come on. Or maybe the person that made it.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It's John Duncan.
Sold.
And the sisters does. So I'm sure she'd come on and tell you all about it.
First of all, we'd have to do some research and probably watch the movie at least first.
Oh, you haven't watched that?
It's been a long time.
A long time.
Oh, boy. Hey,
I can remember we rented it on VHS when I was a kid.
Yep.
From Real Video?
Yep.
Real Video, okay. See, they own Camelot Studios, right in Croswell.
Well, what would they do at Camelot Studios?
That's what they own.
Well, they also made the Black River Monster.
Yeah, they made the Black River Monster. Yeah. And they did it right at the horse ranch down the road there.
In a world where the Black River has a monster.
Yeah.
In a world where the Black River Monster roams free.
Well, I'll tell you.
World.
Don't mess around.
In a world.
In a world.
Ooh.
Right?
These boys shot $7 tonight.
$7, folks.
$7. But yeah, I rented them too, but
Really?
I've seen them all. They're all right.
Yeah, I mean they're stuff on
For Croswell.
they're moving pictures.
Oh, yeah. For Croswell. They're
In a world where movies are made in Croswell.
Oh, boy.
If I get really close to the mic, I do a pretty decent job at that.
In a world.
Clark
In a
Ramsey.
world. WLEW Sports. Clark Ramsey here. That was creepy, wasn't it?
Oh,
That was good.
All I got to do is push my voice super hard.
Yeah.
WLEW Sports. Clark Ramsey along with Dave Hansen. Calling them all out. I'm just going to get a Facebook message from Clark that's going to be like, why? Why? You're speechless, Phil. You might be chewing or something. I don't know.
so
Yeah, he's grinching.
so the other night, we were on the sidelines of the game, and Breckenridge,
Breckenridge.
the whole first quarter, coming out through, we don't know where the ball is. We can't find the ball. We can't find the ball. So I'm up there at halftime, and I'm like, oh, yeah, the Breckenridge players, they were befuddled because they couldn't find where the football was because the ball fakes were so good by Ubley. And even the coach is just like, we went over this. You just tackle everybody. And I said that, and I'm like, yeah, they don't know where the ball's at. And Clark had ducked through to get a piece of pizza while we're all in the common area, hanging out, camaraderie. Our station, the rest of the WLEW crew, but not Clark. He ducks through to get a piece of pizza, like sheepishly goes and walks through, and he's walking back. And I say my comment about, they were mentioning they can't. And he just had to chime in, well, that's obvious. And I almost uppercutted him right in the face as he was fucking sneaking through there. As a matter of fact, Mike said he would have backed me up had I done that. Because that deserves a punch in the face.
That's right.
Well, that's obvious.
Right. Well, that's obvious. Don't fucking high road me, you fucking punk ass bitch.
That's right.
Did Clark ever play sports?
No.
Or did he just enjoy his time in the band?
He's a pussy. He was in the band, and he was also the mascot for Michigan State, which is why he thinks he's such hot shit.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, and he did do something while George Blaha was broadcasting.
George Blaha here.
Which,
Guess what? I'm drunk again.
If I had to pick somebody to pattern myself after,
right,
it would not be George Blaha or Clark Ramsey.
He's the backup to the backup PA announcer for the Detroit Tigers.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Yeah, out of all the things I don't do as well as you, I do a better Clark.
You do.
Yeah.
You very well.
Yes, you do.
Are you sure?
You nailed it. Remember, we should do a segment each episode of me interviewing Clark Ramsey.
Okay.
So, Clark, who's shitting your Cheerios today?
I only shit my own Cheerios.
So what's
ate 'em.
it like living with a celebrity who sucks his own dick every day? That being you.
I wouldn't know because I live alone. Oh, wait.
That would be me. I can't do that. My dick isn't big enough.
Found someone with low enough self-esteem that I could get married.
Oh, shit! You chose the
no.
nuclear option.
Third week in a row.
Damn! That was
I
impressive.
actually don't hate Clark.
I don't either.
I mock.
I hate the idea of Clark because he thinks he's such a big deal. He really thinks he's such a big deal.
Adam does a great job of mocking him.
Yeah,
I do.
You do a good impression.
Are you a Doc Locken and Rake Shaker? Or Lake Shaker? I'm sorry.
I do rock the docks and shake the lakes.
I'm shocked. Clark must have really had something going on Saturday to bugger out on a game, though, because that guy seems to just want all the spotlight he can possibly get doing games and everything else. We should invite him on the podcast.
Probably.
Oh, boy.
I will only do a podcast with Shure SM58 microphones.
And also it has to be in my own studio.
Yes. Why don't you guys come on the strong side?
You actually are fucking nailing it. Like, you're nailing it so well, and I can tell because it irritates me every time you do it. And I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yes, as it should. As it should.
I'm very sorry I brought that up, guys.
You're
All
very
right.
welcome. I'm always happy to talk about myself, Cookie.
That Lake Shaking Doc Shaker?
The station that rocks the docks and shakes the legs.
But if you shake it more than 3 times, you're playing with it.
Whoa, yes you are.
Putting more twattage in your cottage.
And if you can't spit it out like me, you sound like a dumbass.
No, vis-a-vis, that's the station I was telling
Doc
Eddie this.
Rockin' Lake Shake.
Like, it's too bad he couldn't have been something more there because that's a 50,000 watt torch, which there's not very many of those in the United States.
No. They can fucking play.
But I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I know quite a bit about propagation and wattage and height of an antenna. They're not putting out 50,000 watts. Not anything close.
But they have the license to put it out. So
Right.
you could actually bounce that signal on a good night from here to fucking the Dakotas if you wanted to.
Well, not on FM.
Yeah.
But, like, they should at least be able to reach northern Detroit under any conditions, and they do not.
Right.
Like, Imlay City's a stretch for them. And
Well, it's funny because I was sitting there and, doing shit for the radio station, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, fuck, the coverage area, no one's listening because when you go north of here, like just if you get north in Huron County, it doesn't come in. But then one day I was all the way down just south of Marysville, and I was flipping through, and 97.7 comes in clear as a bell down there.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
like,
weird
oh,
because
shit, all these people are listening down here. Like, those people know Fridays with Phil better than somebody up in Grindstone City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get 97.7 in Grindstone.
Yeah.
I have to go to 660.
Yep.
That fucker blasts, but I'll tell you.
But yeah, 660 barely works in Marlette.
Yeah, it's
Really?
weird.
It, like, skips it, yeah.
But like 102.1, I'm in, Crossville. You know where I'm at, Adam. But
Yeah.
it's
Iffy.
but it on the weekdays. But when they do that Saturday night call in,
Oh, the classic.
Oh, boy.
Classic. Well, what did they call that show?
Classic Rewind, I think.
yeah, the
yeah.
classic rewind. You can call in. They'll bust out 3
It's funny.
tunes.
I should know that because I've actually hosted like 4 episodes, co-hosted 4 episodes of it with Eddie.
Dude, are we
The
having
Classic Rewind.
Yeah.
boys? I think we have a cornhole tournament coming.
Kaboomy.
Oh, bang.
Something tells me this isn't the first game some of these boys have played.
You're gonna hear bags slapping wood real soon here, boys.
How do you not hit the ceiling?
I'll show you how. You've got to bend your knees.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bend your knees, Cookie.
Take it like a. God, fuck you.
Sir Philip has just let the cat out of the bag.
You could probably actually
Sir
record.
Philip.
We should record a demo of you just fucking shit up in the Clark voice and send it to the Detroit Tigers and be like, "Here's my
Dude.
demo for this year."
He's fucking badass at it.
Yeah. They wouldn't know the difference.
I could do a spot for us.
Oh yeah, please do.
Oh, the P&A Podcast Express.
Oh. Hey,
Are you sure?
Clark Ramsey hosting tonight.
Good, whatever time of the day it is you happen to be listening. This is the P&A Podcast Express with your host, Clark Ramsey.
Yeah, you Doc shocking motherfucker.
This is going to get to him somehow, and I'm going to feel horrible the next
I
time I actually
fired
see
those
him.
other 2 jackasses. No, I do like you, Clark. I respect you. Part of it is a little bit of jealousy because it seems like you're doing very well. So part of it's hating on my part. I admit that. But it's not like I'm any slouch when it comes to local media. What do I have? 5 different avenues that I'm on right now for local media.
My thing is, I think he takes himself a little too seriously.
And I don't. I don't take myself seriously
I don't either.
at all.
I don't either.
Right?
So, that's my only thing. My only beef with Clark is I think
Right.
that, I know that when he comes in with all his stuff, he thinks it's very impressive, and it is. It's a badass setup.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't realize is what people say when he walks out of the room.
That's right.
And that's the bad part is because it's not stellar reviews. Especially when you go into a small booth,
Some
you
people
take it over.
and he has the reputation of diva-like behavior.
Yes. So the reviews aren't stellar, and that's the part that, I really believe that Clark thinks that everybody's very happy to see him when he walks in.
Right.
That is not accurate. That's not the case. So
Yeah. That's a good assessment.
There you go.
What's up, RFD?
could you see him through the spittle on the mirror?
I could barely see him. Bucks down. All right. More Bucks. Kill them all.
Oh, yeah. Got him.
Till Valhalla. Let God sort them out.
But on that, before we get on something else, as far as the football broadcasting in Ramsey, I will agree that everybody that I've heard on Thumb Tailgaters is very good, and I appreciate the dedication, and like Sand Lake Broadcasting too. They do a great job.
Right.
I'm just glad to hear it.
And that's what we're trying to do.
I'm sad that it's gone.
That's what we're trying to do, though. We try to cover everyone, give everyone a chance. We'll cover, like us at Thumb Tailgaters, we know sometimes these games aren't going to be good games or they're going to be a blowout. But we try to cover almost all of our local teams at least once throughout the season.
And that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
That way these kids have an avenue where maybe it's a recording of a game they can keep forever if they want to relive, hey, this is great the time they came and broadcast our game.
What is more fun than turning on the radio or the podcast or whatever you got,
And hearing your own name?
Well, no, but on a Friday night, hanging out with your buddies, listening to the local ball game that you
Dude,
went to
I
school
love the Thumb Tailgater stuff so much. I really do. And I've worked really hard at trying to be better at it. I consistently try to improve every season, and Mike Smith can back this up.
Oh, he's badass too.
Every season I add something new that I do, to try to be better.
Right.
So,
and I did the same thing when I was doing it. It was the first game that I called play-by-play and stuff like that was a big adjustment from going from color all the time with Eddie, and then we decided to split off into 2 teams. But when I started coaching and things like that, it kind of, I still did football for a while, but just so many evenings gone. You know what I mean?
It's a lot. It's a big, you have to be dedicated. It's a big, like I've already done 14 games this season.
Well, fuck. You drove.
Yeah. Two and a half hours to the other. Yeah, we drove to Freeland to do a game. We drove over
Andre
to
Sims.
yeah, and then we drove all the way over to the other side of the state near northwest of Lansing to do Pewamo, Westphalia, and it was great because when we walked into Pewamo, Westphalia, their AD was right there. He greeted us, and he said, "I love so much what you guys do. Thank you for being here." I'm like, "You guys, you've listened to Thumb Tailgater Sports?" He's like, "Yeah, we've listened to lots of games on Thumb Tailgater Sports."
Well, we've covered a lot of Pewamo games
Yeah.
in the past. I mean,
and that's when you get that in. I'm not saying all schools do it, but most of them do. They give us some sort of, tell us, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. And we try to bring the level. My vision is to try to bring a level of broadcasting the game that would rival any small college broadcast, honestly. And that's what I try to do,
And like when we first started, and everybody else was doing like you know, the radio stuff. They were calling in on a cell phone, and the audio was terrible. And we started coming across with this crystal clear audio. Now everybody's got it, but we used to have people tell us, "Oh, we have a party. We hook our phone up to a speaker and let it, and we play." For a while up at Benchwarmers, they would run our games versus anybody else's just because the audio was so good. They could pump it through the speakers. There was a lot of that, and it was very gratifying that people enjoyed it.
I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it. It's of all the broadcasting things I do, obviously, this is my favorite. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to fucking try to skis out of that one. But I would say Thumb Tailgater Sports, doing games for them is probably second. And then I still enjoy the radio stuff, but I'm trying to pull back from it a little more. I want to get back to the Saturday Night School of Rock, but it's so busy and it's so difficult when you already commit your Friday nights to doing football games to then commit your Saturday night to doing something too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it becomes tough.
Yeah.
Especially on the weekends that you got your kids.
Right.
Things like that. It just becomes almost impossible.
Yep.
But, you guys all do a great job on all aspects, but let's just say you guys were on CBS, NBC, and you had all that equipment and the stuff right in front of you. You could do the same fucking thing.
So I've thought about this, Cookie, and I agree. Because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes when I'm doing a game. I'm charting every single drive. We have paper rosters in front of us. I keep all of our stats. Yeah.
Now that I hear and I know, I'm like, I don't know, fuck.
Right.
Take all the everything.
And the broadcast is fluid. Like, you can tell there's nothing choppy. Like, my thoughts are there.
It's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard basketball's a motherfucker.
Oh, it is.
Oh, basketball
with the fouls and everything.
With the fouls, it moves fast, and there's a lot of mistakes. I always found it hard to do. I'll just say it the worst way possible. Low-level girls' basketball games because there was so many mistakes, hardly any scoring. So you're like, all right, coming up, crossing half court, blah, blah, blah. All right, a steal. Oh, a steal back. The ball's loose. Steal back. Ball's loose again. Steal. Ball loose.
There's a shot.
Pass.
It's short by 4 feet.
Yeah. So, there are... But then you go and do a BWAC game, and it's a BWAC boys game is so fast.
Oh,
holy
and they
shit.
score points, and it's astounding. Mike and I just had this conversation. Cowboy and I just had this conversation about the jumps, the levels of how athletics and sports jumps.
Oh yeah.
And when you're doing small school shit compared to bigger school stuff like BWAC stuff, or compared to doing junior college stuff, or even Division III and Division IV, or Division III and Division II college stuff, yeah, the jumps are crazy. Crazy.
Wow.
And I've got a pretty good understanding of this with Anthony wrestling in college. Mm-hmm. He wrestles for a small school, and they're NAIA. Basically, they had more money to give than anybody else, but. Even to the, I don't want to say there's a jump in athleticism from NAIA to D3. I think it's actually a step down. But what you do have at D3 in the NCAA is larger universities with more resources. So you have, people that are personal trainers, and you have nutritionists and things like that. And he doesn't have any of that. When we went to and watched him at the Michigan State Open,
you were telling me that story about the coaches held them too long for practice, so they couldn't get dinner because the cafeteria had closed down. It's like, what kind of fucking shit is that? You know?
So their cafeteria shut down at 6. Their practice is supposed to get over with at 5:30 so they can go and eat. And he held them a few minutes late. They showered. By the time they got there, they'd already closed the cafeteria down at like 5:45, and so they just didn't get dinner.
Oh,
so stuff like that.
In those big schools, you don't have that because
No.
they get back to the locker room after practice and all their food is right there, or they have an common area where they feed them. And
Now,
stuff like
their
that,
coach does do some pretty cool things for them. Like, they have practice clothes that he supplies them, and then he has somebody that washes all that for them so that when they go into practice and their locker is fresh clothes to wear.
That's nice.
That kind of stuff. He wrestled at Michigan State, so he wrestled in the Big Ten.
In the tournament there, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, his coach wrestled at Michigan
Oh, his
State.
coach wrestled, okay.
So he's tried to bring as much of that into the program as possible, but limited funds, limited resources, you're just not going to get certain things. And, they do have they have some trainers there that they can go and see, and, if something's sore, they try and fix it for them, that kind of stuff. So there are perks.
My wiener's sore.
But
not
then,
Dr. Nasser.
no.
Wow.
So
That fucker should be underground now.
He will be soon, I have a feeling.
yeah.
He's not going to last long in prison.
No.
Yeah.
No. But
People that violate young
Yeah.
adults or children or minors don't last long in prison.
No.
well, and let's face it, a college kid is not far off.
Yeah, and that's how I feel too, yeah.
Yeah. So, but then when we went to the Michigan State Open and watched the Big Ten wrestlers, even the low-level Big Ten wrestlers, you could tell they were trained differently. They're not just better athletes.
Why
but they have trainers that are working out with them in the weight room, making sure that they're doing all the right things. They have nutritionists that are making sure that they're eating the right things. I mean, these were finely tuned machines. Wrestling kids out there that, Anthony's went to his cafeteria before and they didn't even have a protein option. Like, they literally had a mac and cheese dish and scalloped potatoes were their two main dishes they had. So, it's just one of those things that, all right, well, yeah, there's a little bit of a level difference here in how you're able to train.
Are you seeing this play? Stafford, a classic Stafford pick there.
Oh, nice.
He should have never thrown that fucking football. He unleashed holy hell with his cannon. And there's a defender right there, and he should have never thrown that ball.
He's doing more of that as the season goes on.
He is. He's reverting back to classic Stafford.
Yeah. I've never thought he was all that great of a quarterback, and I'm just going to go on the record as saying this. He's a good quarterback.
We're coming to find out he's a gunslinger. He's a Brett Favre. Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's got a rocket for an arm, but he doesn't make good choices.
No. A couple weeks ago, he threw one like he's falling back out of the end zone.
Yeah, I saw that, and he whizzed it sidearm, cowboy
right
style,
into a guy's arms.
to a defender's arms, right near the goal line, too.
Yeah. So, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, there's a
Oh, man, he uncorked that son of a bitch, and I said, he's throwing to no one right now. Sure enough, there was a defender right there. And that's what I have to give vague accounts because it's an NFL game, and, we need their, their permission if we want to give an account of exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I don't have express written consent, but I do have implied oral consent.
That's right. And we like oral here on this show.
Yes, yes. Well, our quick trip is at 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Well, we never advertised this to be a quick trip. You get a bonus full episode here with Cookie, the Cookie Man. You got one more thought, Cookie? Let it fly.
Back to your wrestling. About in college, how they're...
Son of a bitch.
We have Clark Ramley with us. Anyways,
let's get ready to rumble.
Joey Lilly is a good friend of mine.
Yes.
And he had Donnie Corby.
Yep.
And when Corby went to Central or whatever, he said, I could beat him, but it was tough. He went there for a semester and came home to help, and he said that kid beat the shit out of him.
Oh.
Pinned him. I mean, the fucking training is, like you said, just, it's a different level. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
My son's no joke when it comes to that either. I stopped wrestling with him when he was a freshman in high school. Once he was able to pick me up off the ground and I had no control, I was done. I'm like, yep, put me down. We're done. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, nope, we're done.
Another one, real quick. when we were younger. Joey was my brother's
We're not in a hurry to go
friend,
anywhere.
and I was always bigger, and I would always kick their ass. It was easy to, then, but now, oh boy,
Yeah.
my ass
I
would
was-
be grass.
I was worried about time, and then I remembered we started way early tonight.
Yeah,
so we're not in a
yeah,
hurry
yeah.
to go anywhere.
No, but we could start another episode.
Yeah.
Get in
What?
a Thursday episode.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know. I like it.
We went from 1
two,
to 2
three.
to 3. What's
We
going
might have
on here?
we might have oversaturated last week with 4 episodes.
No,
Oh, that-
people love the Saturday episode.
Hey, I got
You got what? Did you get Roadhead during one of our episodes while you were listening to it?
no. But
Okay.
I did like
I'd like to give the play-by-play on that.
I like the Shady Shores one.
Oh, people like
The
that one. a
la-
lot.
the last
You weren't
one.
on that one, were you? You
No.
had
The
Shady bonus.
I was fucked up on the quick trip,
Dude, but holy
By
shit.
the time you guys went to the third trip,
Dude,
you
shit.
guys were.
Oh,
Shit.
yeah.
Oh, shit got fucked right up on that episode, didn't it?
I could hear by the voices. I'm like,
yeah.
oh my god, I'm laughing.
They're drunk.
They were mixing. I was having Captain and Cokes. They were
Oh.
mixing. Well, yeah, Captain and
Did
Coke.
we say anything we should feel regret for or no?
Where did he talk
Fuck
about
no.
giving away money?
Who did?
I
Phil.
did, apparently.
Apparently, Phil said something about giving away money.
I think it was right near the end. It must have been when we were signing out.
Oh well, I might have to go back and do some
Because
research.
Katie, our Alaska fan, said, so you're giving away money on the podcast, or were you just drunk? I'm like, 1, A, yes, on both, and 2, B, I don't remember saying that. But
Me
we'll
either.
give money away.
Yeah,
I mean,
got a
we
5.
practically give money away as it is with all the equipment and time we spend to provide you content, which costs you not a dime.
I got more donations coming.
All right. We got to
But
acknowledge
what
that
it
one.
is-
Who gave the last one? What is the
That was M&D Marine, but
M&D
what it
Marine?
is-
Thank you.
is I'm gonna take a envelope around and whatever you got.
Pass the hat.
Yep, and I think I can get a lot of shit for. Actually, I like the new boards. I
Isn't that
know they're a
beautiful?
lot, but it's pretty good with them drops or something.
Oh, yeah.
The sound quality has gotten consistently better. We actually started off, not to toot our own horn, but to listen to early episodes, our sound quality is good.
Oh,
but we've
yeah.
gone from good to great.
So here's the funny part. I did talk to somebody today who'd never listened to the podcast before. They literally asked me, they said, would you be on a technology podcast with us? I'm like, sure. I can record a couple episodes with you. They're like, do you know anything about podcasting and recording? I'm like, a little bit.
A little bit.
And so then I told them, I'm like, go listen to this. They literally pulled up the first episode, and they're like, where'd you get that theme music? Is that just music you downloaded? I'm like, no, I made that
Made that.
Yeah.
a few seconds before. A few seconds before we went on, I composed that. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. And then we started talking. They're like, your sound quality is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, we've improved a lot since then.
And that was from through the standard Behringer board with our headsets initially.
Yeah.
Like, those headsets are good. They're great. As a matter of fact, they're great. They're great headsets. They're better for things like sports and things of that nature, not necessarily a podcast. Because with those, you can't get much inflection like I'm doing right now, backing away or getting closer to the mic. Yeah. But we've upped it with the microphones. We started with the P4. Now we've got this beautiful board, the P8. That's a professional unit right there. And it wasn't cheap. Don't get us wrong. But
No.
glad you sprung for it. And that's why I continue. Like, we've got a couple new mics to try out on their way too. Those Zoom mics you sent me, I ordered 2 of them. We're going to
they're
give them
the
a try.
same brand as our board. They're
Right.
supposedly made to work with the board, and they had a hell of a sale on them.
So I
And,
purchased 2 of them.
Phil pulled the trigger on them because I'm on probation
Right.
after buying this.
Oh no.
And no
So-
one, my accountant has gotten used to me making stupid, frivolous purchases. And my accountant, she said, well, if it's equipment for the podcast, I can justify it a lot more than the other random bullshit you generally buy.
Yeah,
Like flamethrowers, yeah.
and blow up dolls to burn with the flamethrower.
And
Oh,
blow up dolls to
boy.
put on the lawn of the
Slight-
courthouse.
Slightly used blow
Oh
up
yeah.
dolls to burn.
What was up with that one?
Right? I know, right?
So yeah,
Oh boy.
this this board's pretty badass. And you could actually use it for DJing or anything like that.
Which we do have some DJing gigs coming up here. We'll talk about that more in future podcast.
Yes, indeedy, feed the needy.
Which I have some news on that for you that I meant to share, but I apparently forgot.
Oh, way to go, big dipshit.
We're gonna have to have an off-air meeting.
If anybody wants a drop of Clark Ramsey saying fuck, here's your drop of Clark Ramsey saying fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck.
Or if anyone wants a drop of Clark Ramsey saying fuck and then insert a name, just email us and we'll sell it to you for $5.
At PNA Podcast Express at gmail.com.
That's right. I got to pee.
I'll give you a real quick example. It'd be like, you can fuck those guys over at the PNA Podcast Express. They're assholes for making fun of me, which we're really not, Clark. We really do.
We're making fun with you.
We really do have a great deal of envy.
Yes.
For what
who knows? Maybe someday I'll saddle up to him at a fucking urinal and his dick's a lot bigger than mine too.
Oh,
so then I'll be envious of other things.
I'm sure it is.
I think it's small.
With a voice like that, it's hard to say.
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
I like to push my voice.
It was cold in that restroom.
Well, I was just going to say, Clark can sound like Clark without having to try.
Hey,
it's true.
And he probably only pushes his voice a little more than mine to get there.
It's true.
It's true.
Oh, boy.
Are you
sure?
Yes. You read the cues.
All right, gentlemen.
Let's get out of here because I got to fart.
Yes.
Oh, I just did. Oh, and it was dry. It was dry.
Oh,
anyway,
that's a good one.
Thanks for listening to the PNA Podcast Express. Cookie, Steve Cook, thank you for joining us. We love you, buddy. Thank you for bringing the charcuterie plate.
You guys are awesome. Love you guys.
All right. He's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. PNA Podcast Express at gmail.com. Pineapple Nipple Arsehole at gmail.com. Make good choices.